Welcome to the Reseller Island podcast. My name is Jake. I've got my two co-hosts, depending on how you're looking at the screen. To me, it's the left of me. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Keith, Vintage Sport Flips. How's it going, guys?
And I'm Shane, Soda City Flips. What's up, y'all?
And today we have a special guest right below me.
This is like the Brady Bunch. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
down here. I'm Joe. I'm
Yeah.
Profit First Reseller on YouTube. Yeah.
One day we'll have Trash to Cash and the Reseller Locker Room and the Reseller Leftovers, just a megapod.
That'd be cool.
Just keep
Yeah.
adding squares. Yes, I love that.
It'll look like a daily refinement video back in the day.
Yeah, there you go.
Good stuff. But yeah, how was reselling this week, gentlemen?
For me, I mean, eBay's been a little bit slow. I mean, the last couple of days have been slow, but over the weekend was pretty good. But that comes and goes for me that way. How about you, Shane?
Well, mine, I've been slacking on eBay this week, but you guys know my wife lost her grandmother.
Yeah, sorry.
Yesterday was a week ago. We had the funeral, or sorry, Tuesday was a week ago. We had the funeral yesterday, and my mother-in-law lived with her mom. And so we've been over there the entire week, just trying to help her out, clean up some, get all the funeral arrangements done and things like that. And even today, I was over there working, trying to help her move some stuff around the house, rearrange things. And I've listed probably one or two items a day since that Tuesday morning. But sales are still coming. I'm ending and selling similar. In hopes that'll keep things moving for me. But the one or two items I'm listing every day are killer items, so stuff's moving. I listed two. You guys know when you go in the gas station, you see those Macho Man Randy Savage Slim Jim containers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm buddies with the guy who owns the gas station down the street from me, and he hit me up and he's like, "Hey man, I want to get rid of all these neon beer signs, the Slim Jim stuff." He said if you sell the neon signs for me, after fees and shipping, give me 20% of your profit. For those, you can have the Slim Jims. I sold the Slim Jims for $95 for the first one and $125 for the second one.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
so
Nice.
Nice to have friends.
sales,
right?
sales are
Yeah.
coming in, even though I'm very, very lacking in my business this week.
Oh, Shane, sounds like you're focusing on way more important things, man. That's got much
Yeah.
respect for you for that,
It's
bro.
an
That's
unfortunate
awesome.
situation, but it's part of life. We all have to deal with at some point.
Of course.
I lost my mom a couple of months before I started reselling, which sucks because my mom was a big yard sale flea market.
Yeah, no, you say that a lot.
Yeah,
Should've
and
loved it.
she would have been by my side every video, just like Dave's mom, But this was kind of, we saw it coming, but it happened like super fast with Lindsay's grandmother. She's not necessarily been sick, but she's in her 80s and not very healthy, and she put herself on hospice, but it was just them coming over and kind of helping take care of her. She wasn't like on her deathbed or anything, but
Yeah.
they haven't given us the final results yet, but they believe her heart just gave out. So it was kind of, we knew it was coming, but we didn't realize it was that quick kind of thing. So,
Yeah. Man, it's part of growing up. My parents just called me this week. They were doing like their whole will and testament and wanting to go over it with me. It's just like part of growing up, man. It's just like the next phase of life. And we're kind of taking over for that next
Do you
generation.
guys have all
I think
of
about
that
that all
set
the
up?
time.
All three of you? Do you guys?
no,
I'm so bad.
I need to.
I'm inspired. My parents have done it now, and I'm like, now they have a guy. I'm like, I should just call their guy and do it, but I haven't yet.
I do,
It was
just
the
as my
Dave
son.
Ramsey Show,
Yeah.
sponsored by Xander.com. Go get your full-term life policy. No.
Yeah.
my mom, she died from frontal lobe dementia. She was 57 years old when she was diagnosed. And I think that's only 11 years from now for me. I'm 45. I'll be 46 in November. And I'm like, could life really be that short? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, my mom died when she was 62. That's insane.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
So, way to start the show off on a sad note there, Shane.
Hey man, it's real life. And I think it makes you want to seize the day and appreciate what you got, appreciate the time you got with your family. And like, that's like you're saying, like, I think probably partly because of the job you've got, you can spend this time with your family this week where they need
Yep.
somebody to be there for them, and you can be that person, and that's pretty special, man.
Yeah, it's been. I mean, it's obviously it's been, you know, sad and kind of overwhelming for everybody, but it's been a lot of, like you said, a lot of time spent with family, and not just, you know, my wife and her sister and her mom are all that's left. Her mom has lost all her siblings and her parents now, so she's the last one besides her two daughters, and we've been spending a lot of time with them. But like extended family coming in, and it's just been really nice the past 7-8 days. On a sad note, but you know, it's
Well,
been
let's transition to a sassy note. Do you
yeah.
guys
Let's
know?
do it.
Do you guys know who Jim Cramer is?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so Jim Cramer,
the money guy, right?
the money guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, sure,
So
yeah.
there's this joke in finance and investing that if Jim Cramer is bullish on something, then you should be bearish. Like if he says, "Oh, now is the best time to buy Apple," sell your Apple because it's about to start tanking. And then if he's like, "Oh, Microsoft is a sell. They are just their financials aren't looking good. You should sell out of it." That's your time to buy into it because it's about to rip, right? I have found the Jim Cramer of reselling. So
Uh-oh.
I recently got my Facebook remonetized, so I'm posting a ton over there again.
I've
And
noticed.
good old we've talked about him already before. Good old Landshark Picker, man. He wears that top fan badge with pride on my Facebook account, man. He comments on almost everything, and he's like, "Oh, I had a $600 sale the other day," and he's like, "That's gonna get returned." Didn't. I mentioned that the Dr. Pepper coconut was coming back to Utah, and it did. So I went and I bought 40 cases, and I made a post about it. And he's like, "This is a sinking ship. This is going to zero. I've already sold 37 of the 40. I'm gonna go get like 80 more tomorrow."
Yeah, and you're
Are you
selling them
powered up by
for
that, Jake?
tons.
What's that,
Go ahead.
Joe?
Oh, I was just wondering, are you powered up by that? Like when you get comments like that,
yeah.
Is that like, I can tell you're like getting satisfaction. Like, yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna
dude,
prove
I
them
love
wrong.
it. So,
Yeah.
like, those of you guys interested in content creation, you really have to understand what kind of personality you have when people are constantly criticizing you, even critiquing you, but like people are just constantly leaving their opinion on you. And if you get down in the dumps about that, content creation is not a great business to be into.
Yeah.
But I like literally could care less. Like, so I don't get super high or super low. Like when people praise me really hard, I just say thanks. And then when people trash me, I just say thanks. I'm making money now. Let's do it.
Yeah,
It takes the right
my
person to
wife
do that for sure.
my wife watches a cooking lady named Glamaw, Cooking with Glamaw. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard of
what her-
Glamaw, Cooking with Glamaw.
Okay, yeah. So she watches her, and she's like this. I think they're from Alabama, super country.
Mm-hmm.
She's a heavy set woman, and she's lost like 200 pounds recently, which is amazing.
Wow.
Congrats to her. But
Yeah.
my wife was telling me she had watched a video where I guess she was getting so many rude comments
She
and
took a
stuff
break
from
for a while.
people. Well, I guess she was crying and like super upset, and I was like, see, I was telling my wife, I was like, it don't matter if she was skinny, if she was big, you know, if she was black or white, people are going to hate on you just to be jerks. And that's something that all content creators got to deal with. You know, even the nicest people in our little small niche on YouTube and Facebook get hammered daily in the comments. And
Oh yeah.
if you can't deal with that, then you might not need to be putting yourself out there, because the trolls are out there. There's evil in so many people out there. You know, they're just mean for no reason. But that lady puts out great content, and that's all she needs to focus on. You know,
Cooking
don't
with
focus
Glamaw,
on
dude.
yeah.
Good for her.
I can't remember the exact name of her, but I know she goes by Glamon. It's pretty good cooking channel from my understanding from my wife.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like those comments can hurt extra when it's something you're already kind of hard on yourself about. You know, just some, other comments. Most of them roll off my back, but occasionally you'll get something where it's like, oh, yeah. I mean, I've already been telling myself that all day, and so to hear somebody like that who's already on a health journey or a weight loss journey and is like trying to share that vulnerability, that's just so sad to hear, because it's like, she probably is hard on herself already. Like she's already told herself those things, but then to hear it from other people too, it's just sometimes that can be the camel, the straw that breaks the camel's back, or whatever the expression is. But I was just reflecting the other day of just like, I feel like as a creator, you got to be self-critical, so you're not surprised all the time. You got to be able to take it, but you also got to love yourself a lot and be able to say that. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to handle all the criticism. Like, you kind of need both in parallel. So it's hard to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I tell people in my videos how much of an idiot I am almost every video. I'm screwing something up. I'm like,
I love that.
I did the other day. I was recording, and I think I put this video out a week ago or so. But I was recording, and I couldn't find this item that I sold. So I stopped the camera, I found the item, came back and did the whole video without hitting record. And I realized it after I did my outro, and I went to turn the camera off. I was like, oh my gosh, the camera's already off.
We did that. We opened a box of 66 Tops baseball, and we hit the Mickey Mantle card. And we're celebrating, we're all pumped up, and we look in the not recording. Like,
dude, that sucks.
So we recreated it. I mean, so if you watch that, sorry, that's like a little inside baseball that we actually
Cool.
That's a recreation, but we did pretty well. But yeah, that happens.
So how much does that mantle go for?
I think it was like a $300-$400 card.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
And you're opening a fresh pack. It was a pack opening on camera.
It was a set break. So it was a graded mantle out of a full set that they break up into different boxes. So
cool.
Yeah.
Guys, I've never told anyone this. This is the craziest thing that's ever happened. In 2021, I went to Target and I bought Optic basketball. It had Giannis, I believe, on the sleeve. I come home, I open it, and there were hockey and Pokemon cards in the sealed package. I'm like,
wow.
What? I've heard about this before. So people, they buy the product and then they just put in filler cards and they reseal it with their own machines, and then they return it to Target and just sell off the cards that were in it.
Oh,
wow, this actually happened. That's crazy.
That's meticulous. Like, that's an attention to detail, man.
Yeah.
Because how much are the packs? Like a few bucks each. Like, that's a
in
lot.
2021, this was before. No, actually, I think it was 2019 that I did this. It was before the huge basketball boom. So yeah, those packs were like $1.99 or $2.99.
Yeah, that's to me. I'm like, that's a hardworking criminal.
Pokemon might have went up in value more than the basketball, though. I don't know. Was it sealed Pokemon packs?
No, it was just like literally just a guy had just a stack of useless cards, and he just.
Oh, okay. So they weren't packs, and okay, I got you.
Yeah, they weren't. They
were sealed optic packs with Pokemon cards in them.
With Pokemon and hockey, and it was wild.
That's nuts.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah,
it was nuts.
Yeah, people working hard for that money there.
Oh yeah, dude.
Man,
it's probably why they don't return cards anymore to Target. I don't think anywhere. Once you buy them, it's like no return policy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you saw my comment in the group chat for Hops and Hits, Keith, but I can't find Optic anywhere here because our Walmarts stopped selling cards in our area.
Oh wow,
like a year ago. So I'm thinking maybe thieves, they're just like, all right, we're done with it.
We did gunfights and stuff over this stuff. I mean, in the past, right? It got intense.
Dude, the Target, Pokemon Prismatic right now is intense. It's intense, man.
Target still sells cards, and then we have one local card shop. That's the only place you can go. And Target is constantly out of everything. Like their wall, they'll have like Disney Lorcana and stuff like that, but like all the Pokemon's gone. They'll have hockey and like Topps Heritage baseball, some of the lower end stuff.
Yeah.
But they never have any NFL, any basketball, and no Pokemon, hardly ever. So I don't know what day they restock, but it gets emptied that same day.
Yeah,
well,
I was going to say,
in mine
somebody knows what day it is.
Yeah,
I was in mine this morning for the restock, and there was like 25 people in line. I waited in line a half an hour. I'm like, I'm just editing photos. I'm making use of my time there. I was editing photos. So then I'm like, I can't wait any longer. I left, came back an hour and a half later after I did that thread show, and there were still people waiting there, but the stock guy was there, and he had all the Pokemon was gone. People already got all the Pokemon. No Optic was there anymore. But I did get to go through the guy's boxes he was unloading and bought a bunch of Bowman baseball and some other boxes that I'll break onto the cards. Cool. But yeah, first time I've seen the stock guy. He's like a mystery figure over there in Target.
Yeah, get his number.
Yeah.
That's a good person to know.
Yeah.
No, yeah, people are intense about it. Like people will find them at their earliest route in the morning at like 5:30 and then just follow the truck all day.
Oh long. Yeah. How many like Apple tags does he have tied on his bumper?
Yeah, seriously, that's crazy.
Not suggesting that. It's probably against the law, I'm assuming.
Yeah, for sure.
That's funny though.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yes. Devious mind over here.
But guys, shout out to Brinley. I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning, and she had already shipped out 42 orders and had 35 listings up by the time I got up
Dang.
at 6 a.m.
That's
Nice.
impressive.
Before
Yeah.
6?
Yeah.
What is that, like 2 hours of work? How long did that take?
She gets up at 4:30.
Wow, that's a machine. Good job.
Yeah, she was
Holy cow.
cruising.
Yeah, both of us,
Wow.
we the second we wake up, our goal is to be working in under 30 seconds, which I suck at because I'm not a morning person. But if you can just automatically just get into that flow, just work really hard for 3 hours, and you've already accomplished most other resellers' 12-hour day, then just do whatever you want for the rest of the day. That's our
That
style.
was me yesterday,
I love
man.
that.
I generally wake up 6:30 at the latest, and I go sit on the back porch and have coffee with Lindsay and do our daily morning routine. Then I'll fix breakfast. Then I'll go to work. Yesterday, we had the funeral at 11, so I got up and grabbed my camera, straight out to the inventory shed, started pulling orders on video, shipped. Monday was a holiday. Tuesday, I think I shipped 15 or 20 things Tuesday, but I had 60 something items to ship Tuesday and Wednesday. So I think I got 15 to 20 done on Tuesday and the rest yesterday morning in just a couple hour window. UPS and USPS dropped them off and made it to the funeral on time. So I was pretty proud of myself for getting that grind on yesterday. Now I got to edit the video.
Yeah, that's
Do
impressive.
all of y'all do your own editing on the channels?
I do.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm actually considering. I hate editing GoPro footage. I'm considering talking to Shane about editing it for me. Just like send them over everything raw. Be like, I'll give you 10% of the revenue share. Because dude, I hate it.
Maybe nice.
Like on my iPhone, it's nice and easy. But dude, I hate GoPro footage. It's
Oh yeah,
like-
CapCut
You
on
use
the
CapCut
iPhone or
on
something.
the
It's so much
phone?
easier.
yeah, I use CapCut.
I do too. Yeah, I mean it's such good software for the iPhone or the app.
I
whatever it
never
is.
record with my phone unless it's like a short or something. If I'm just recording a little short real
What
quick.
do you edit on, Shane?
Wondershare Filmora
Mhm.
on my PC.
I think that was the one that I used before CapCut. I tried it out. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I was using DaVinci Resolve when I first got into YouTube, and my computer at the time I don't think was powerful enough to really run it smoothly, and I was having a lot of issues, and I was playing golf with Harry Tornado and Flippy McFlipperson, and
Name drop.
yeah. Harry Tornado uses DaVinci Resolve, and then Evan
really?
Flippy McFlipperson said, "Hey, have you tried Filmora? That's what I use. It's super user friendly and all that." So I was like, "Well, I'll give it a shot and see if my computer will handle it." And it handled it just fine. And I've just been using it ever since. Even though I got a new computer and everything, I got comfortable with it, so I've just been using that ever since.
I feel like that's
And
so
it's
much.
one of
just
those you
finding an
pay
app
for
you're
it.
comfortable with.
Yeah, exactly. You pay for it and it's yours. So it's like a one-time fee. They may
Like,
have a
buy it for,
monthly
like,
plan, but
$150 or something.
yeah, I forget what the cost was, but I just bought it and it's been updates once a month or so.
Not like
so
Joe's resurfacing machine, right? That subscription.
No.
You got to pay by the minute on a machine you already paid for. Like that's kind of insane, but I just happen to make the best machines. So I'm going to keep using it. But, man,
I never heard of that.
ELN.
That's interesting.
Yeah, not all the machines are like this. And this one's still, when you work out the cost per disc, it's still a pretty good deal, but you have to buy, it's like an SD card or something. And there are people that have hacked it where you can like give yourself 999 minutes and keep reloading it. But you have to keep buying these cards, and then it has a certain number of minutes. And then when you run out, you can't use your machine until you buy another card from the company.
Like
those, when I was telling my wife about it, she was
cards.
like, yeah, it kind of sounds like a scam. It's just, it just happens to be a good machine. And, I'm willing to pay for services for the business. So I just see it as another business expense.
Yeah.
Man, if I could find another machine that works better, but I've just heard so many other ones like the JFJ, Easy, whatever, like those. I've just heard horrible things about all the other machines. And this one has never ruined a disc. The only time it ever messed one up was when I accidentally stacked 2 discs on top of each other. That was a really bad day. I really ruined the one underneath. But besides that, it's been fine.
What do you remember what the games were that you ruined?
I think I ruined a Wii Sports. Like it was like horrible. It was like $20 down the drain.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Dude, Wii Sports. Dude, summer is the time to find video games, man. Like I all throughout the winter, I find them at thrift stores every once in a while, but yard sales are great for video games. Finding Wii Sports everywhere.
I have the hardest time finding video games. Like video games are the holy grail for me, at least, of like reseller inventory, and it's just impossible to find. Like everybody knows their value, and so I've just had to kind of transition most into consoles and controllers and cables. Like sometimes there would be a couple loose sticks in the bottom of a big bulk buy I'll purchase, but I've never gotten a stack of like high quality games all at once ever in my career. Like just people already know the value. And they're easy to sell, and so.
Well, here's a little hack. This is what I do at yard sales. Is a lot of times the mom or the dad or whoever's running the show, their kid will be out there with them, just kind of hanging out. And I'll just go to the kid directly and say, "Hey, man, you want to get rid of any of your Xbox or DS games?" And a lot of them are like, "Yeah, wait 1 second, let me go grab them." And so like the other day, I got 4 Nintendo 3DSs at 4 different yard sales, just asking the 9-year-olds, "Hey, do you want to sell any of your video games?"
Nice.
And then I make sure that their parents can hear me talking to them, and then they almost always like look at their dad, and their dad's like, "Yeah, go get it," you know. So,
yeah, it's up to you, bud.
That's sweet.
I came across
like those things are worth $200, so like I'll whatever they say under $100, I'll give it to them.
That's great.
I came across, this was last summer, I came across a yard sale where this guy had like large boxes full of sealed PS4 games and Xbox something, maybe Xbox One, I don't remember. And he only wanted $5 a game, but I don't know the first thing about video games. I recently bought a PS3 with a stack of games for like $30. I don't even know if it was a good deal. I had no idea, but I was trying. She had a camera I wanted, and I was trying to make a bundle. And I was like, well, even if I pay $30 for this PS3 and games, I'll probably at least get that back. You know what I mean? So I was like, I want the camera. I'm going to try to bundle it up. So it worked. But I have not tested the console yet, but I'm assuming it works.
You know what you can do now, Shane, is you can just take a picture of all those games, either with all the spines facing up or with all the faces up. Just try to get them all into one photo and just upload it to ChatGPT or something and say, are there any high value games I might be missing here? And it'll break it all down. Like, here's the top 3 games. The price charting value is between $20 and $30. Like, it'll break it all down. So you can just take a single photo. And I'll do that sometimes when I'm selling a bulk lot, just to like make sure I'm not missing something. Like, oh, that is a high value game. Didn't even realize. So it's kind of
that's an awesome idea. I use ChatGPT a lot, but I've never used it for that kind of thing. That's awesome.
No,
that's
me either. I use it as well, but it's usually just because I'm playing around with something. I've never thought to use it.
I'm making ridiculous graphics
like that.
I tried to use it on some eyeglass frames on eBay, which I honestly don't even really need the AI at this point. But sometimes, it's just like they're too small and too similar. They'd be like, oh, these coaches are generally worth between $18 and $84 on the used market. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great info, man. I'm going to start using that for sure, especially since somebody like me who doesn't know a thing about video games. So I don't know what I'm looking at is good or not. So,
well, and the majority are probably worth under $10, but it's just, it would suck to also sell that one that's worth 50 in there with the rest of them if you help it. So that's what I'm
get your $46 for the high one, get $26 for another one, and then sell the other 8 for $18 plus shipping on eBay.
That's what I'm talking about. Sell the rest of them in bulk. Move on with your life. Yeah.
Heck
or first class treasures.
I was about to say, I'll just throw them up as a lot of for $2 on the first class treasures and get $6 or $8 for them and be happy.
Say first trash treasures?
Yeah, first trash pleasures.
First trash pleasures. Man. Dude, man. I thought this guy was falling on first class treasures the other day. I thought it was coming to an end because there was 2 really good shows. And there was just no one was bidding. It was like, oh crap! Here's this summer slowdown. It's terrible on live selling. Luckily, the day after, it was a really good day. But man, like old school treasures, this couple they're dope. They live in North Dakota in a 22,000 square foot high school. I don't know if it's a high school or a middle school. They just bought the high school.
Awesome.
Like every classroom is just filled with eBay inventory, and they're like, we don't have enough time to list it, so we're just gonna do everything live. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about.
That's so
amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, but they were selling a ton of like vintage 1960s to 1990s women's clothing, and like no one was bidding. I'm like, oh shoot, dude. But then the very next day it was right back to normal. So I think it was just because of Memorial Day weekend hangover or something.
I've tried to pop in here and there over the
Uh-huh.
past 7 or 8 days, but obviously we've been busy, so
Yeah.
I missed a lot of shows that I'd hoped to catch. I missed Keith's that second break you did.
Oh yeah.
I missed that. I've missed a lot of stuff, man, that I wanted to catch. So including, other marketplaces, but I hope to be back on there. I've been sourcing still, so I'm still pulling in inventory to sell over there on First Class Treasures. And yeah, we got a comic book raid train coming up on the 2nd at my marketplace, the Crooked Spine. So that's going to be cool.
Well, I watched the comic book raid train with was it WSC? Is that who was the first guy in their train?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And is that true that now you guys can raid across? What's the joint partnerships on those on the raiding? Is it First Class Treasures, the Crooked Spine?
Yeah, that's part of it. So Jake reached out and we kind of got, I don't know how many marketplaces did this go through, Jake?
It's First Class Treasures, Crooked Spine, Rockets, Pokemart, and the Thrifty Flea. So it's those 4. So we can all cross raid from each other and stuff.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So that's
how much time would you guys say you split up? You estimate between live selling and like fixed listings at this point in your businesses? Is it mostly one or the other? I know because I feel like I'm just like the old guy. Everyone's talking about live selling, and I'm like, I'm barely figuring out eBay over here. But I eventually I'd like to try to get into it.
I'm definitely, out of the 3 of us, I'm definitely the one who live sells the least amount of time. But I hope to change that. I want to, I've been doing like a show every couple of weeks. I want to do at least one a week. Keith's doing multiples a week.
Yeah, Keith sells the most live for sure.
Jake does it at least one a week probably.
Yeah, between 1 and 3, usually 1 or 2.
Yeah. Cool. So
yeah, I probably have 4 to 5 a week, I guess, most weekdays. But I think the time percentage for me is probably like 60, static sales, 40% live sales, but the money is probably a lot higher on the static sales than the live selling. But you get to move bulk, so I'm happy to do that too.
Well,
the inventory you're selling on live is probably not always inventory you could sell on the other platforms necessarily, right? Or how do you split that up?
No, I mean, I would say not the case. I mean, a lot of people do that. I try to bring some quality stuff. I mean, if you go in there just selling like low end stuff, it's a painful hour when you're trying to get a couple dollars out of each item. So I do.
It can be very painful.
Yeah. So I do bring stuff that I could sell easily on eBay. But again, if I can move 50 of those things in an hour compared to like having to skew it and let it sit in my warehouse for a while, there's a trade-off there that I'll take.
I've sold multiple $100+ items on First Class Treasures or any of the other marketplaces for well under what I could have got on eBay. But when I do a show, I want to at least give the people something to hang around for. So like in my last show, I did on the dollarauction.com with some friends of mine.
How'd that go?
It went well. I've actually done 2 shows there. One was just the keychain show. So I knew I wasn't going to make a ton of money on that one, but I just wanted $1 for each of those things. And I sold like 30 of them. But the first show I did was kind of just like a little bit of everything, but I had a $300 brand new tags Michael Kors ladies jacket, inked picker. Alicia ended up getting that, but that went for $50 and I was stoked. She got a great deal. There were so many people in that show waiting on that jacket to run. I thought it would have gone higher, but it was, a size 12. You had to be the right person to want it or a reseller. And they've built that marketplace to focus more on everyday buyers and not necessarily selling to resellers. So, you had to it's a red jacket with gold buttons and zippers. Like it was very particular person's going to want that. So it went for 50, but I was happy. I sold a ton of stuff in that show. I sold in between my 2 shows. I had like 70 items to ship out for those 2 shows. Nice. So I did all right.
Yeah. By the way,
what about like broadcast skills? Oh, go ahead.
Shout out to the Grams and Pops Vintage we had on here previously. They've been making these card stands for me. My new logo on there. So if anybody wants that for live selling, Grams and Pops, hit them up.
I have to create a new logo for Soda City Rips because the one I got, I knew it was going to be like too detailed if I ever wanted to do anything like that. but I reached out to Corey, and he's like, yeah, that's too much going on in that. So
Yeah.
I got to redo my logo, do something a little more simpler, and
They just
I'm
3D
gonna
print
have
it.
him make me some. Yeah,
3D print, yeah. And that's why I made
Maybe.
a new logo, because I wanted less colors in it, because the first one was too complex for him. He did it. It looks good, but this one looks a lot better because of the simplicity of the color scheme, I think.
Minimalist. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I'm reaching out to Corey, and of course,
Yeah.
he was like, nah, man, I can't do that. But he did say send it to. He had me send the file to him, because he's like, I have an idea I want to do with it though. So I sent it to him. I don't know what this idea is. I'm waiting to see, but I got to redesign the logo a little more simplistic and get him to make me some of those holders.
I just had ChatGPT do it with like only use 3 colors. I told it, and that it simplified it. And I still did Photoshop work on it, but
Yeah,
Smart.
it looks good,
Wow.
man. He did a good job.
yeah, that's great.
ChatGPT, man.
Yep.
I gotta
it.
try that. I've spent probably 1 hour total on branding for like my YouTube and eBay combined, like for the last 6 years. So I gotta do some work. I'll upload what I've got to ChatGPT and say, can you make this look better for me? That's a good idea.
I could spend hours on Photoshop a day on our thumbnails, or my wife calls it my craft. Like, what are you doing, crafts over there? This is not
Doing
crafts.
crafts,
It's
that's
important
funny.
YouTube work. Like, I'm, giving J-Ride the right like tan for the sun in the thumbnail. So
Dude, you got to make just me pink and white is the shade for me, dude.
yeah.
Dude,
Man, I've only
I saw
designed
this photo
one
on
thumbnail for my
Instagram.
YouTube channel so far. I gotta work
Oh,
on
really?
that. Most of it's just like auto-generated. I just let it fly. Yeah.
Yeah, you just do like I see on your thumbnails, you're just like make sentences.
Yeah. I just try to pick, usually gives you like 3 options, and I'm like, which one do I look the least stupid in? Or the most stupid if it's more clickable. So sometimes my wife is like, why did you pick that one? I'm like, I don't know. It's like attention getting, maybe. She's like, you look so unattractive. I'm like, I'm not trying to get people to think I'm attractive. I'm already married. I'm trying to get people to click on the video, get them interested. So I don't know. I'm definitely not a social media expert over here. I'm trying to learn from you guys.
Oh,
over
me
here,
either,
for sure.
man. I'm figuring that out as I go. I did find out
just
now.
have tough skin and try to piss people off on short form.
Yeah.
I did figure out though, this picture right here will never get straightened because people always comment that your picture's crooked, and I'm like, yeah, keep telling me.
Love that.
Feed that algorithm.
Now, if you guys want to go viral on TikTok, just say you found this really awesome toy that you're going to flip on eBay that's only worth $15, and then behind it have a bag of Littlest Pet Shops. And everyone will be like, "You idiot! Did you see that from Littlest Pet Shops?" Oh my! That's awesome.
I was laughing at one of yours. Go ahead, Keith.
No, I interrupted you, Shane. You go, man.
I was just gonna say, Jake, I saw one of your shorts today, or reels or whatever, and I forget what you were talking about during the video because I laughed so hard at the end. But the last like 2 seconds, you were scanning over Funko Pops, and you're like, and don't forget Funko Pops suck or something.
Yeah.
I was just dying, and I was like,
Thanks
that's the trigger that's going to get people to comment.
Yeah.
That is a genius idea, though. I like that.
You got to trigger people in the first 3 seconds, so that way they stick around and they comment. And then if you can get them to the end of the video and re-trigger at the end, then they'll watch the same video for like 27 more seconds while they're commenting hate to you. It's awesome. Because I have some videos, like my most popular videos, they get into like 7 and 8 and 9 million mark. They all have like 118% retention. Because I know a ton of people are dropping off, but so many people watch the whole thing and then make their comment because of that last little antagonizing comment.
Yeah, and the video's just replaying as they type it out. Yeah, that's genius. Jake's very, very smart when it comes to triggering people, getting them to interact with your videos. I mean, it's mind blowing to me.
That Landshark Picker, guys, keep me in business. It's awesome.
And Landshark Picker, Craig's such a cool dude. So
come on, join a member there, Landshark Picker. Who's like your top fan, right, Jay? Right?
Yeah. If you like comment a lot or watch almost every video, Facebook will give you like hey, you're a J Ride Flips top fan. And then
I thought it was like a sarcastic thing. It was a real thing.
No, he by his name. Every time he comments, it says top fan, and he has this little like badge medallion.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
He's feeding the algorithm.
But speaking of that soda, this is dried up in my area, so I'll divulge it now. Little Caesars did a collaboration with Mountain Dew. So it's the Mountain Dew Mango Rush. The 12-pack cans are selling for $80 on eBay, and they have over I think there are 127 listed and over 1,500 sold. They
Holy
sell
cow.
immediately for $80. It's
I'm
awesome.
going to Little Caesars when we end the show.
Yeah, so
Wait,
they stopped giving them to northern Utah locations because I would just go hit up like 5 or 6 almost daily, and now they're all gone. So
and what is it? It's a soda sold in Little Caesars. Is that what it is? Or what was it again?
So it's an orange Mountain Dew can called Mango Rush, and
Okay.
it's only sold at Little Caesars.
Interesting.
And it's very, very limited time, so that's why they're going for like $80 because they won't be here in a couple weeks.
It's the video game players buying that stuff, I have to imagine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're usually the big Mountain Dew fans, and they like all those little Mountain Dew offshoots with the different flavors.
Yeah. This is how disciplined I am in my reselling business. I love Mountain Dew, but I knew how valuable those Mountain Dews were, so I don't even know what it tastes like. I've just sold thousands of it.
Love that. That's a true flipper right there. I love that. Take the cash. Take the cash and run. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Because that price probably won't stay high forever. Maybe it'll go up, but it might just be a hype right now. Like I try to be flipping those as fast as I could if I were you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all hype. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So do you still use that app? Are you still using Deal Soldier? Is that still producing results for you?
Yeah.
As far as
Yeah, when I wasn't feeling the greatest for the last 6 months, I was doing close to zero retail arbitrage, but now I'm doing it again.
Cool.
And yeah, dude, there's some really good deals. It's awesome.
Yeah, check that out.
Yeah, that's killer.
Yeah, I actually heard about the Mountain Dew from Deal Soldier. So.
Oh, really?
Huh.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit up the Little Caesars down the street. I say down the street. It's like 15 minutes away, but that's where we grocery shop in that area and everything anyway. So I'm gonna hit them up.
Yep. They sell them in the tall boy cans, and they're like $2.89, and a 2-pack sells for $25 plus shipping.
Wow.
But if you can get that 12-pack in the box, dude, $80 plus shipping all day long.
This is probably pretty stupid from me, but someone who's never sold soda.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I know every time you're at the post office, is anything liquid, fragile, perishable, all that jazz? Is that has to go ground, or what is that? How do you ship soda?
I mean, I ship every single item that I ship in my business is ground anyway. So
okay.
People are always asking me, how do you ship your cameras and all that stuff? It's just ground service.
It's very rare I ship anything priority mail anymore. But yeah, I was just curious if there was a special thing you had to do for a liquid like that, but maybe not.
I have the priority option for most of my listings because I know sometimes people just need something a little quicker. So I have the option there, but they very rarely use it. I bet you 1 out of every 500 sales, I get maybe 2 priority requests.
Yeah.
Do you guys have all the options for shipping?
For something.
One.
Yeah.
Depends for me. If baseball bats, for example, I'll put UPS, Ground Advantage, priority mail. I'll give them options, but
because a lot of people will be like, "Hey, I need this for spring training that starts in 3 days. I'll pay $27 plus $27 for the shipping, even though it sucks. I got to get it now."
Yes. Yeah, but most of my bats I sell nobody's using. They're from the 40s. So, but yeah, I still some people want it quick. Like right now for gifts, like graduation gifts and stuff, people are requesting quicker shipping. But
so
yeah, matter of fact, didn't
40s?
You one time say if you came across modern bats, you wouldn't even know what to look for?
Oh yeah, no idea on a modern bat. Yeah, no, I don't sell anything that's not wood.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Wood, at least from a bat perspective. Yeah.
Keith finds some killer stuff, man.
This is a drop 9, so it's only worth $40. But if it was a drop 3, this would be a $300 bat.
Oh,
I sold that one. I forget what it was now, but I sold that one bat for like $400, $425, something like that.
Whoa,
nice.
Was it a modern one?
Got it for free. Yeah, it was a 2024. Gosh, what was it? Icon. Who makes the Icon? I know it was an Icon. Anyways, I got it for free. My neighbor temporarily was working for his buddy's towing company, and they towed a car in the state of South Carolina after 90 days. If nobody comes and gets it, you own it. And so this particular car, nobody came and got. And he's like, "Hey, man, this car had this bat in it. Do you want to try to sell it?" I was like, "Heck yeah." So, free inventory. I figured $40, $50. It was brand new. Still had the tag from Dick's Sporting Goods. When I looked at that tag. I was like, there's no way this is a $500 bat. Sure enough, it was. And I sold it for $420. I put it used. I put it as pre-owned, but never used, because where it was rolling around in this guy's trunk, it had a little scratch on it, and I still got $425 for a free baseball bat.
Joe would have put pre-owned even if it was in perfect condition.
Probably. Yeah, I'm worried about that new with tags, man. I got enough Veros on my account. Like, I don't want to mess with that again. It's too important.
Are you an everything seller, Joe? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jake.
Sorry. Have you ever been like had a forced break for a day or 3?
Yes. I think I got up to a 3-day suspension at one point for like medical supplies,
for medical,
maybe,
yeah,
or something.
Same thing. Yeah, my first year, I got a 1 day, and then like 7 weeks later, I got a 3-day. I'm like, oh, wow, this sucks.
And then it's like a 7-day, and then you're in big trouble, I think, is how it usually goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nervous. That was like the worst. I think I got up to a 3-day one time. Yeah, I think it was like still on
that
like Philips Respironics stuff or something like that. I just like found at the Goodwill.
Yep.
That bat is Rawlings icon. So if you guys come across that, pick it up.
Just so you know,
nice.
97 out of 100 Rawlings bats will be worth less than $15 shipped. But 3 out of 100 will be worth $20 or more.
Yeah, I mean, just like that DeMarini you have, I've got a DeMarini.
Worthless.
I may have recently sold it, but I was under the influence because every time I saw somebody pick up and sell a DeMarini on YouTube, it was a good one. So I was like, pick up DeMarini. And I paid like $5 for this bat, and I think it sold for like 17 eventually. But when I got home with it, you know, learn your lesson the hard way, right? You go home before you comp it. And of course,
I comp everything still to this day.
Yeah, I need to. I've been doing better about that, but you know, I say within the last, since this became my full-time job, like I'm very, very specific on the things I try to bring home now. Whereas before, when I had that 9 to 5 covering all the bills, didn't really bother me if something sat on the shelf for a little while. You know, now I want the money as quickly as possible, so I comp everything. But I used to not. I used to just, you know, go on whims.
Are you to 1,000 sales on district yet?
No, I'm less than 80. I think I need 77 sales to hit my 1K. Yeah. So soon.
Yeah, no, to answer what Keith was saying, I think as like an everything seller, I do still consider myself an everything seller because I am always flexing that muscle of like comping items and looking stuff up as I go and like trying to be open to selling new stuff or new inventory I might stumble across. Like I do tend to sell the same inventory because I have just developed, like I haven't actually gone to a Goodwill to supply or to source my business in like a year or two. Like it's all just direct relationships now. So it has gotten more consistent as far as that, but I'm always finding new stuff. And like you still have to keep getting in that like beginner mindset almost of okay, what's the model number? What is this thing? Do I need to Google image it, or do you just search it on? Yeah, you just the same process every time. I think it's just like the basics, like the fundamentals of eBay. So
I feel like you're an everything seller on everything smaller than your head, except for Guitar Hero guitars.
I like that. Yeah, smaller than your head. Yeah, I'm always thinking about price, especially with my limited space. Like it's got to be really good if I'm going to have a big item in my store for very long.
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty good space.
I actually just sold pallets on eBay for the first time. It was I had too many Xboxes, and so I took I took a picture of all the Xboxes lined up, and I listed it on eBay for local pickup. And then this guy, I think he was like from Maryland, and I'm over here in Texas. He was like, I actually think it's going to be cheaper if I just have a trucking company come pick it up from you. Is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, I've got a couple extra pallets in the back. I'll pack them in there, and I'll have it ready for you. And literally a guy came by on the truck and he had to send me like a confirmation code so that it would like put it through. But it was like a $1,200 sale. And I was watching 2 pallets of inventory leave my driveway all at once. It was like last week. And it was like a mind blown moment of like, wait, can I sell in bulk?
How many Xboxes was it?
Oh my God, dude. I had so many. It was only the original, like the white or sometimes black Xbox 360s, like the fat model. And I had 243 of them.
Oh, wow.
So I listed it for $1,500. I took an offer for $1,200 local pickup, but then he paid for all the trucking and all that stuff. So I didn't have to pay for any of that. So.
And you just listed them untested?
Untested. I that's my issue is I have other consoles to work on, and those tend to be the least profitable for me because the failure rate on those old Xbox 360s is so high. Most of them just end up being junk anyway.
The
and
Red
the four
Ring
parts
of
consoles.
Death.
The Red Ring of Death, yeah. Coming out of the factory, looking back, that original run of Xbox 360 consoles had an over 50% failure rate. Like Microsoft just ate, they had to eat so much losses on that console launch because they basically promised too many consoles, and so they had to source from all these different factories. Quality control dropped, and they were just shipping them out, and then they were all just failing left and right.
Dude,
So
so
of all the consoles, that was my least profitable one, and they were taking up literally 2 pallets worth of space in my garage. I was just that was awesome. It wasn't, I didn't make a ton of money on them. That's about what I paid for them, but I'll make my money on the rest of those bulk buys. But that was just I just needed to clear out some space. But
yeah, it's cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
more of a
minimalist.
How much
Baseball
good
guys.
inventory? That's amazing.
Yeah. Man, I'm just more of a minimalist. I'm more happy to see the stuff get out of my house and leave almost than the money at some point. It's just because I'm working out of my house, and sometimes I just feel like I'm getting buried, especially when I'm bulk buying and I'm trying to maintain these business relationships. Sometimes I have more inventory that I can sell, and so I guess practicing a muscle of if I'm buying a lot, I got to practice selling a lot too, right? Or you are going to get buried, right? I don't plan on hiring employees. I got to figure out. I got to get creative in a way. So
luckily, you have really high sell-through rate stuff, but you are talking about a live seller's journey right now.
I know.
Yeah,
right. You get to the point where it's listen, I can sell all of this stuff for $15,000 over the next 180 days, or I can get $9,000 this week. Let's do that.
Yeah. And that's it's exchanging, the quick nickel for the slow diamonds. And if you can get a bunch of quick nickels before that slow diamond is going to pay out, you just got to work the numbers.
Especially when space is an issue. Yeah, for sure. ADH Dave style, right? He's trying not to keep stuff in his garage at all anymore. Just try to move through it quick.
Keeping it going every day. I need to find another reseller to buy out. That was was fun and extremely profitable. I can't afford to buy out Harry Tornado, but I need to find maybe one thrifty mom if she's watching.
I saw on Facebook Marketplace there's someone selling 38,000 listed and packaged items for $100,000, and he's and they're auto parts, but they've got to be super low end because he's this is currently generating me $800 a week. I'm 40,000 listing.
Yeah, that's
and you're doing $800 a week, dude. Oh my gosh, that just sounds like a nightmare.
Wow.
It's all replacement little things that hold your carpet in, the little push things.
Dude, that
10 for $1.
Because the first little picture, it all looks good. Oh yeah, let me click into this, see what's going on. And my body was just being filled with anxiety as I learned more and more. Dude, this is nuts, man.
My marketplace is crazy. I find stuff all the time that I'm okay, I can make some money here if the price is right. So I'll reach out. This one guy had 4 Rubbermaid totes. They were fairly large totes, but they were vintage tractors, little tractor toys, little metal ones from probably the 50s and 60s. And I'm I could probably make some money on these. The collectors will buy this kind of stuff. So I reach out to the guy. $50,000 he wanted for these 4 totes of. I was like, dude, come on, man. And then because I'd sent him a message and I said, hey, what's your price on everything? And that's what he came back with, $50,000. And I was like, whoa, that's out of my budget, man. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Good luck, kind of thing. And he was so rude. He's like, don't bother me if you don't have the money to pay. And I'm like, well, dude, I have to ask what your price is to know if I can afford your price.
$50,000. Is he expecting somebody to come with a suitcase to his house, do some Facebook Marketplace deal for 50 G's? What in the world?
I want that guy commenting on my Facebook videos, man. He sounds
I know.
I call them algo whales, where I'll just literally tell them hey, right now I'm manipulating you to come back and comment on my video and make me more money. They're like, oh, enjoy your 2 cents. I'm like, okay, Google compound growth in social media. Oh, enjoy your raw noodles. Why are you still making money? It's funny.
Here's how a compound.
And meanwhile, they're still commenting more and more on your video.
No, they just keep coming back.
Yeah.
I fired one dude up in my last video, or maybe 2 videos ago. The item that I lost, and I recorded the second half of the video without turning the camera on, that video. The item I lost was a set of front and rear sights by Magpul for AR-15s. You can't sell that stuff on eBay, but I did. And I mentioned in my video, like, you're not allowed to do this, but if you're, it's storming outside. Sorry, thunder just caught me off guard. I was like, if you're strategic with your title and your descriptions, I'm not telling you what to do, but I sold these for $36. And this guy in my comments was like, "Oh, you're such a piece of trash for selling those, and you're telling people to sell those, and blah blah blah." And I just was trying. I was like, "All right, how can I keep triggering this guy to keep commenting?" So I was trying to pull out my inner J Rod, and it worked for a little while. He left 5 or 6 good comments before he finally got tired of me. But it was funny. Like, I told everybody, like, I'm not telling you to sell this stuff. You cannot sell it on eBay. But if you're gonna do it, be careful. And I was at the bins. I found this like those little drawstring backpacks full of toys. And I was like, I'm gonna get this. The bins. It was half price day. It cost me like $5. Well, down in the bottom were those front and rear sights, and so it was worth it. Even if I never sell the toys, my plan was like live selling with the toys. But yeah, so I put it in the video, and that guy hated it, hated me, hated everything about that sale. It's like, dude, you're not gonna get hurt by this sale. I promise.
Speaking of that, speaking of hate, the comments we had in the earlier podcast where the gentleman was talking about, like, you were outing the buyer, the buyer.
Yeah, that video.
Was there any feedback from that video? How did that one go?
No, not the first negative comment.
Huh? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I got scammed, basically. I think I got scammed. The guy, and I ended up recording a second part to this video after he returned the item because he was demanding I refund him. It was a phone, like a business phone, very nice business phone. I sold it for like $60. New open box. It had never been used, but this guy got it and immediately starts demanding a refund. This within, probably a couple of hours of him getting it, saying that his AT&T says they cannot connect to this phone because it's already been used by somebody else and blah, blah, blah. And he's demanding a refund. And I'm like, hey, no problem, man. Send me the phone back, open a return. I'll gladly refund you. Shipping's on me, the whole 9 yards. And this dude is irate, typing in all caps, calling me a scammer and, all this stuff. And he sends the phone back. Now, this is a nice little compact box that it's in. I put that in like a 10 by 10 by 10 and cut it down to where it was nice and snug inside. He sends it back in a box like this big with like a handful of packing peanuts, and that's it. So the phone had come out. He had broken the phone. It had like a foldable display screen, digital screen, and he had broken it where it wouldn't work anymore, sent it back to me like this. And so that made me, more fired up to put that video out. But there was a guy commenting on this show when I mentioned I got a video coming out where I tell you guys who he is, block him and all that kind of stuff. And this dude was, what word did he use? Doxing. He said I was doxing this guy, but I wasn't giving out personal info like his address or any of that stuff. I could have, somebody reported me, they reported me, but I'm not that kind of a jerk, but I do want people to know, hey, go block TV Wood, TEEVYWOOD.
Get him,
because he's going to try to scam you and then break your stuff and send it back when you don't refund him.
Nice.
I use that block list a lot. I love the block list.
I love adding to that. There's nothing better when you see that, like that you got one new added to your list. I love to see that thing grow.
I now that it's like a lot easier, like if someone's just being really annoying messaging me, I'll just like click the 3 dots and block user.
Yeah.
Well, I've never even done it that way. I do it manually, going to the list. Do you guys ever do that?
It's kind of a newer thing. Like I've only seen that for the last like 5 or 6 months.
I used to be able to do it on my phone like that, but I can't do it on my phone. Those 3 dots just say help and report now. They don't.
Let's see if I can block someone right now. I'll try.
Maybe you were overusing it, Shane. You think you were blocking too many? Like this guy, we can't give him this power.
Our block list is fairly short.
Man. The 1 foot flipper has the longest block list.
That's what I was about to say. If you want to talk about a block list, you got to talk to Page 1 foot flipper. Mine's relatively short, probably 20, 30 people on it in 3 years. Page has 20 something years of people, and it's huge. Huge list. I'm pretty sure I saw him post it on somewhere on Facebook one time. Here's my block list, and I was like, oh my gosh, how do you have customers?
It's such a big world. I think there's no. I think I block generously. Like there's so many customers out there. It's all right. Yeah, I think nobody has to be. Not everyone has to be your customer, and like especially if like you're talking about that customer complaining about the phone, Shane. Like that's just like selling electronics on eBay in general. Like some people are just like so needy. And for me, the line is drawn where like I don't mind helping people. I can't even tell you how many people have been like, my Wii is broken. I turned it on, but my controller's not working. And I'm like, did you sync the controller to the new console? And they're like, what do you mean? No, it was already working. I'm like, okay, here, push the button. And it's just like, and so as long as they're nice, but it's when the people are like messaging over and over again and like needing a response right away. And that's where I'm like, hey, dude, I'm selling video games here. Like I'll get to you when I get to you. But some people, I can't have people expecting me to provide like instant free tech support. Like I'll help you out, but you gotta chill
I've tried to help people when I could. Yesterday, I got a pair of Miss Me jeans for sale, and this lady's like, what's the rise on these? And I click on my listing because I always put it in the title and in the description, or in the specifics. So I clicked on it, and sure enough, it says low rise right in the title. So I sent it to her, and I said, these are low rise. Screenshot the title to her, and she's like, no, I mean like the measurement of the rise. So then I go to my photos, and I find the one with the ruler measuring the stuff, and I send that to her. I'm like, here's the, hopefully this helps. And of course she I never hear from her again, and I'm like, why ask all these questions if you're clearly not interested? Like, all you have to do is look, for one, read the title. It's in the title, low rise, and then in the photos it actually shows you. Plus in those item specifics, I don't know how many of you guys sell jeans, but one of the item specifics is the rise, and it tells you 7 to 8 inches, 9 to 10, 10 to 12, whatever it may be. All they have to do is look, and the answers are there, but they can't be bothered.
Oh yeah. I mean, half the time the messages people send me, they could have just typed that into Google and the answer would have been right there. Sometimes that's all I'm doing is I'm just like, I don't know, let me copy paste that over. Like, okay, here's what you do. Like, it's just some people need to be walked through that stuff.
A lot of times people will be like, hey, so I'm seeing the green light on this camera. It's saying it's fully charged, but it's not like turning on. They're like, oh, did you try YouTube? And they're like, oh yeah, 1 second. And they never message me again.
Guys, I'm gonna step away for a second. I told you it's storming. I just remembered we got new mattresses on my trailer outside. I got them tarped up. I just want to check to make sure they're still tarped up.
Because blow away.
It's one of those. I can't remember what it is, but it's the movable with the remote controls and stuff. It's super heavy, so my stepson's supposed to come help me unload it. So I left it on the trailer tarped because I knew the rain was coming, but I just want to make sure the tarp's still there.
Yeah, that would suck.
It sounds
it's got electronics in there.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah,
you're gonna come back soaking.
Oh man. Yeah, my last video was thunderstorming outside. That's a cool thing about Texas. We get these crazy dumps like in the middle of the afternoon, and then it'll be sunny by dinner time again. I love that.
Yeah. I did a lot of summer sales in Florida, and you never knew what was coming. It would just be stormy from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then it's 107 degrees by 2 p.m.
Yeah, you can't really plan for the full day in Florida. Like around here, at least it's a miserable day. It's like that all day. Florida changes like a spot of a dime. Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, do you have employees? Have you ever had employees at all, or do you have plans to?
I haven't. No, I think maybe Jay Wright has, right? Jake, you have?
I've had employees kind of throughout. Just I had some friends working with me, and then I met my wife. My mom worked for me pretty close to full time, probably like 30 hours a week. And then now my wife does my mom's job, and my mother-in-law also works for us as well. And then I have a brother-in-law who right now he's on his Mormon mission, so he's away for 2 years. He's coming back in 4 months, and he's gonna start working for me when he gets back too.
Wow, where is he? Where is he currently?
He's in Portland, Oregon.
No way! That's where I lived for 10 years. That's awesome. Before I moved to Texas here,
Yeah, that's right.
I've been to Portland.
It's a very walking and biking friendly town. I bet it's an awesome place to be like hitting up neighborhoods and stuff.
But he's still gained about 20 pounds on his mission. So because I weigh 191 pounds now. That's insane. I weighed 159 pounds 3 months ago.
Wow. That's
Wow,
impressive.
dude.
Yeah. It's not
Yeah,
much
kid.
time.
I'm excited.
I think I'm gaining weight too, but not in a positive way like you, Jake. I was I guess when I had my 9 to 5 job 6-7 months ago, I was more physical than I am sitting behind a camera taking pictures of things and sitting at this desk. So, but yeah, so I might have to make some changes in my lifestyle. I think tarps on the bed still. We're good.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, I was like, man, I hope it's not windy outside, I guess. So I was worried that, I got stuff bungee corded, but that wind gets under those tarps, it could be nasty, but we're good.
Shane, I've occasionally edited photos on my exercise bike. I mean, it's probably not an intense workout if you can edit photos while you're doing it, but I'm there with my phone editing.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Keith does it like watching TV and everything, right? You're always trying to stay productive.
Yeah, I don't really take much downtime. Yeah.
And I got my phone in my hand. She's aggravated with me because she feels like I'm not like focused on hanging out with her kind of thing. So I try to get all my stuff done before dinner time. Obviously, my live shows I generally do in the evenings, so I try to work those around. She has her show nights that she likes to watch specific shows that I don't care about. So I'll try to, schedule some stuff to do in the evenings on those nights. I'll do a lot of editing and stuff like that during those times. But Keith will just, man, I imagine if Keith went to church on Sundays, he'd be
that might
editing
be. I
photos.
don't go to church, admittedly, but that would probably be frowned upon, I guess. But yeah.
Do you have a full like stationary bike you're like bringing around the house, or how do you do it, Keith?
No, it's in one. I have a couple. I have a Peloton and a regular stationary bike, but yeah, they're not. I'm just doing it on my phone. I'm not like listening on my laptop or anything. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Almost bought a Peloton when they first came out, and I was super glad I didn't because my wife kept saying, I want to get an exercise bike. I want to get an exercise bike. So I kept seeing Peloton commercials, and I was like, I'm going to get her a Peloton. And she ended up buying one herself, like a used one off a marketplace or something. Never saw her get on it once. So I'm so glad I didn't spend thousands on Peloton.
Hey, Jake, what are you doing for workouts these days, man? What are you enjoying? Getting moving and.
Yeah, dude, I just lift as heavy as I can 3 times a week, low rep.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And
so
for like benefit for your time, that's probably got to be one of the best things for sure.
Yeah. I've already got my bench back up to 250, and
wow.
My squat is lagging this time around, but so I can almost bench as much as I squat, which is kind of embarrassing, but I'll get that up.
Man, squatting, deadlift. I mean, you just gotta be careful moving up in weight, all that stuff. The older I get, I'm just like maintain, because when you get injured, that's when your health really drops and you can't train. So the more complicated the movements get, like getting to like the Olympic lifts and stuff. Like I've done that before, but I've also tweaked my back. And then you're out of the gym for 6 months or 9 months.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
It's all about preservation at this point. I think that's like an official sign. I'm like almost 40. I'm like, I just got to protect my back. That's like my main mission going into a gym these days.
Keith, I don't know about you, but ever since I turned 40, I feel like my back hurts a little bit more every day. Yesterday, we're standing at the funeral and my back starts hurting. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So we go to lunch and my wife has these... she gets migraines a lot.
Do they suck?
So she has these pain pills. I don't remember what they're called.
Guys, I gotta go potty. Come back in a second.
Go ahead. So I got one from her when we were eating lunch and like immediately felt better, and it hasn't hurt since. But I was like, how did I hurt my back just standing there? It's all I was doing, man.
It sucks, but like you don't get more flexible on accident as you get older. You know what I mean? Like you don't get more fit. Unfortunately, I wish that was the case, man. It gets harder. And
like I play a lot of golf, and I stretch every round of golf I play or the driving range. I always stretch out first. I have a swing trainer that kind of helps you stretch it as you swing it and all. And I'm like, I feel like I'm a pretty strong guy. My back should be pretty strong, but I literally was just standing there during the funeral. My back started hurting, and I was like, what in the heck is going on? I bet a lot of my problems come from this stupid stool I'm still sitting on.
I need to upgrade. Get a little. You need someone to sponsor over there.
There any like, where do you spend most of your hours in the day? Like wherever, if you're sitting on a stool or whatever position you stand in, or if you favor one side, that's where a lot of people, like your chiropractor, that's where they start. Is like, how do you spend your days? Like what position is your body in? Sometimes you got to kind of reverse it.
I need a lazy boy sponsor.
There we go. When I set up at shows, a lot like the National, it's like an all concrete floor throughout the place, and like unloading, loading the van, and standing in the show for 5 days. I'm having back spasms by day 5. It's like you're so just standing, even though I am loading and unloading, so that does a big part of it too.
Well,
but
Keith, I don't know if it would work for you, but when I was building cell phone towers, there's large concrete pads. Everything's on concrete pads out there. And I would get back pains, and I would just lay flat on my back on that hard concrete, and you'd think it'd be uncomfortable, but it felt so good, and my back pain would go away pretty quick. So like 5 minutes, maybe try it and see if it works when you're on your feet all day like that. Because
it's smart.
That's what I accustomed my issues to, was just being on my feet all day working. And I would just lay down on that hard concrete, and it felt so much better just after, 5 minutes or so. I mean, people are going to look at you like you're weird. I never had, I had a crew of guys that would look at me, but I was their boss, so it didn't matter what they thought. You're trying to sell to people. You don't want to be, laying on the ground, and they're like, hey, how much for this Eagles coat? And you're like, that's not even for sale.
I get hundreds of like AirPods or glasses or cameras at a time, and my wife and I will clean them. And she'll do it on the ground, like hunched over and stuff. And I'm like, dude, can you do that at a table, please? You're nuts. She's like, I just like it better on the ground. I'm like, okay.
That's something I completely forgot to do. And I even told my brother-in-law, Jake, when we went to Kentucky Derby, we go every year, and we stay at the Southern Indiana Caesars Hotel and Casino. And I was like, oh, I need to hit up my casino rep and see about the lost and found. And I told my brother-in-law on the drive up, I was like, yeah, man, my buddy Jake makes a killing off the lost and founds in Vegas. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. So I meant to do that, and I completely forgot to talk to his name's crap, I forget his name now. He's a new rep. We had a lady all the previous years, but she moved on, and we got a new one. I forget his name, but I meant to talk to him about that and see what kind of deal I could make. Say, hey, once a year I'll come up here, obviously for the Derby, but once a year I'll come up here and buy you out. But completely forgot.
Yeah, I've always thought that's so cool, Jake. And it's so cool you share it too, because that could be one of those secrets you just never tell anybody. But like thinking about casinos and lost and founds, even now I'm thinking about like gym lost and founds, gyms, any public spot. Just like kind of gets your mind thinking. And
you guys can go to
there really are so many opportunities.
You can go to AliExpress right now and get a nice metal bin for $300, and then just etch into the side of it electronics donations, watches donation, clothing donation,
money.
And then just talk to your local grocery stores and say, hey, can I put this in the middle of your parking lot?
Whoa. I'm actually in an area where there are very few thrift stores or even donation areas at all. Like my neighborhood. That's so interesting, man. Wow.
Yeah.
It's
just the hardest part is like just getting the guts to go and talk to people about it, because if you just put it in the middle of a parking lot, like you'll either get sued or it'll just get thrown in a dumpster. But if you just say, hey, check your person, can I talk to your manager about this? Sure. Okay. Can I talk to your manager, and then talk to your manager, and then talk to the VP of relations? Okay. Yeah. Most people aren't willing to do that,
And you tend to like, you're like, I'm going to go in the very back of the parking lot where you're probably not going to have anybody parking anyway. And like, maybe you pay $50 or $100 a month. Yeah. I'm already thinking about like my pitch in my head. That's awesome.
It's even harder to buy out lost and founds, and I go to rec centers and hotels and casinos and all of it. And most people just aren't willing to go talk to other people. That is like probably the biggest hack to increase your business, is just like literally talking to people about stuff.
I bet a lot of those stores would not dislike that, because they're bringing people to the store. I mean, they might not even go in the store, but they could. Right?
Exactly.
So I mean, it's probably more traffic is better for any kind.
Target's already doing it though in my area, which sucks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have their own bins where you can donate or recycle electronics like remotes and cameras and sunglasses and eyeglasses. And like, damn, that's my business.
Yeah, well, they probably already have a relationship with wholesalers who are buying their returns. I wonder if they're just like including all that stuff with it. Like, here's some more electronics, and just sell it in bulk to you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good possibility.
Like, I'm sure they're doing it for no reason.
Dude, so my wife and I made a mistake of hanging out in Midway, Utah the other day. It's just this small town that's just like really awesome. It's right next to Heber City, which actually has the highest quality of life in the whole United States.
Wow.
So it's like a suburb of that, and now we want to move there. So
Oh,
we have our eyes on a few houses here in our area that are like 650,000, and we were going to pull the trigger on one soon. But now all of those $650,000 houses are like 900,000 in Midway, so we got to save up a little more. But I didn't want to do that because it's so far away from yard sales and thrift stores and stuff. But honestly, I could do my whole job online, getting cameras and AirPods and stuff. So,
and if you're powered by the highest quality of life, you're going to be ready. Yeah, I think you're going to be in a personal position to be really putting your business in a whole new level. I think starting at the core of like you are the core of the business, so take care of yourself first. What is it about the community that leads to such high quality of life? Like what is it?
Dude, it's just a nice little small town feel, and it's like 35 minutes away from a big city, so you still have everything that you need. And it has like 2 reservoirs on the top and bottom of it. It has like 5 ski resorts within 18 minutes, and it's really dope. Wow. It's a really cool place.
Hard place to not be happy, huh?
Oh yeah, dude. It's and we just went to this little. They just have like little coffee shops and little restaurants, and so we stop at a different one every time. And my wife's like, I just want to make sourdough and raise chickens here.
Oh, it's the best. Yes. Got some goals, man. I love that. So and these days, you got to work to achieve some goals like that. That's not easy to be able to do.
Our goal is to put 50% down as a down payment. And on 650,000, that was already hard enough. Now I'm pushing. It's tough.
Yeah, man. Hey, set those goals high. I love that, man. Wow. That's like a goal. That's like a lifetime kind of achievement kind of goal. That's like you're like already imagining like a dream life, man. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Especially as young as you are, like, because your J-Rad flips, it's not going to take you long to get where you want to be with that situation. So to be as young as you are, man, and living that dream already, that's awesome, dude. Super proud of you and Brindley.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you have a business partner that has 42 shipments and 35 listings by 6 a.m., dude.
That's crazy. The shipping blows my mind,
man.
Yeah.
Dang.
To be fair, it was a lot lighter of it was 42 items, but it was like 18 AirPods, a bunch of cameras, a bunch of sunglasses. So, but sometimes she's got to ship those like coffee makers and Guitar Hero guitars and golf clubs. There was like none of those this morning, which was nice.
Yeah, mine yesterday, I was super happy to get the shipping done. I got nothing listed beforehand, but I had golf clubs. I had one of those Slim Jim, and they're pretty big and heavy. And what else? I sold like this big rolling kids backpack. Tiami, I think, is a brand. They sell for decent money, but there's kind of a slower sell through rate. I've sold a few of them, but they're fairly. It seemed like 90% of what I was shipping yesterday was fairly large, and I was like, "There's no way I'm going to get this done, get it to the post office and UPS, and get to the funeral on time." But like I had too much doubt of myself. I was done and still had like an hour to kill before I even needed to leave the house. Like I got it done super fast, and I was like, "What?" And recorded the video. I was like, "Man, I could do this every day and be done by noon."
Yeah.
Brindley's the worst of that. She's like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym at 9 and then I have a doctor's appointment at 2. So my whole day is dead. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, she just like has anxiety about it. I'm like,
I totally get that. If I have like something scheduled in the like halfway through my day, it's hard to like not just think about that all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get it done first and then you're free. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people struggle with that. They're like, okay, sweet, I need to do this at 9 and then this at 1, and you have plenty of time in between, but you're like, you like have that analysis paralysis and you get less done. But
yeah,
I'm pretty good at getting over that. I don't really have that issue at all. I'm like, oh, I got 27 minutes, let's make $1 million,
like, yeah, but like you guys already got the hack. You said you and Brindley like waking up and trying to get right to work and getting in a routine of that before all the other excuses start coming up is so smart. I love that idea.
It's hard, especially because I am not a morning person, but like to everyone listening, if you guys can start your workday in under a minute and have 0 distractions for 90 minutes to 3 hours, you will double your income this time next year for sure. Like if you can just do that 300 days a year, man, it's incredible.
Two minutes. You got
really freaking hard.
2 minutes.
What's that?
You got to brush your teeth for 2 minutes.
Well, but you don't have to brush your teeth to sit on the couch to list or wherever you're listing. I mean, you got to leave before you leave the house. You got to brush your teeth.
Dude, it might sound gross, but like I do all of that stuff first, and then I brush my teeth and shower and get ready for the day.
Yeah. I do the same thing. And I'm about the same, Jake, as long as my Keurig is brewing quick enough for me. And let the dogs out. The dogs are quick outside, and my Keurig is quick. I'm on the couch listing in about 60 seconds. But sometimes the Keurig is slow. Get a new Keurig, maybe.
Well, the Keurig itself is kind of a hack. I've gotten addicted to like, my parents had a machine. I'm like, this is so easy. I can make a coffee for myself anytime in like 30 seconds. You just push the button and walk away. And I love it. I like over caffeinated myself with one of those machines for a while.
When I used to have one reselling, I would sell like a Keurig every single week, but now we hate shipping them. It's just not worth it. I used to sell the average coffee maker for $70 plus shipping. That has come all the way down to like 35 plus shipping, literally in half. So I think we have like 5 left, and I think that's probably going to be it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think there's just so much competition for those instant coffee makers. Yeah, so many the Nespressos, and I think the commercial ones. There's still a demand for like the dental offices and the doctor's offices that have the nice big fancy ones. But I agree, for the home, there's just too many options these days.
Yeah, I just have one.
Even the Keurig has 40 different models themselves now, and every thrift store here is loaded with them. I don't even look at them anymore, unless it's like you said, one of the bigger commercial sized ones, and I'll take a look at those. But
I've sold 6 of those like really huge bun coffee makers. The ones that I thought they were all like, I'll probably just sell these to gas stations. Almost, it was 6 out of the 7 went to churches.
Oh yeah. We have all kinds of restaurants. Yeah, those things are timeless. Yeah, those also, that kind of commercial restaurant equipment kind of stuff. Hotels. Yeah, they love that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and they always go for like $300. So
yeah.
And a lot of people.
I bought the bun coffee maker for our restaurant on eBay back in the day.
Yep, there you go.
Very similar. Yeah.
I think that's another like mind shift hack for a lot of people. A lot of people think that they're selling to themselves. Like, oh, I sort everything on eBay from lowest price plus shipping, and that's how I buy. And so like a lot of people will try to sell to that customer, but so many businesses buy off of eBay. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep in mind that I'm selling to a car dealership in Omaha instead of Nancy in Columbus, Ohio. And dude, like I'm shocked by how many businesses, and plus businesses, it's the dumbest mindset in the world, but businesses are always like, well, it's a write-off, so I'll just get the $450 one instead of the $200 one. It's like, well, you still gonna save $250. Oh my
gosh.
So like businesses,
people misunderstanding write-offs just makes me laugh so much, especially you, Jake. I'm sure you're so into financials. I just had a comment this week of somebody being like, why do you care what the shipping cost is if it's cheaper on Pirate Ship versus eBay if it's going to be a write-off anyway? I'm like, it's not, doesn't mean it's free.
I've been selling, I don't know if this was a business, but I've been selling those B12 vitamins, B12 and folate. I sell at least a bottle in every video. I paid $1 a bottle for these things. I had somebody buy 24 yesterday for like $190. Yeah, and
nice.
I had a couple of people reach out and ask me if I would, bundle the shipping on if they bought multiple bottles this weekend. So I actually sold quite a bit of them. I think I only have like 40 bottles left out of the 200 I originally bought.
Do you guys know? Sorry,
I don't know if it was. No, I was just going to say I don't know if it was a business or not, but I couldn't imagine one person needing 24 bottles. And I mean, mine are the cheapest ones on eBay right now because I've made so much money off of them. I was like, I'm going to get them gone now, so I dropped the price like $3 a bottle, and maybe that's why they bought 24. But it just seemed weird. I've only ever sold multiple quantities of like 3 to a single person before, and then all of a sudden this person bought 24. So I don't know if they were restocking their shelves. Maybe they couldn't get them from the supplier or something.
Do you guys know Toomey Copper?
I don't think so. I know Toomey Bags.
Yeah, it might be Tommy Copper. Now I'm thinking about it, but it's just like it's those. You guys ever watch ESPN and then it shows those socks that have copper infused lining that will circulation, and they do like muscle relaxer creams and things like that. Well, one day I just got this random whatnot notification saying Daily Refinement was live, and he was selling boxes of this Toomey Copper muscle relaxer ointment. He's like, hey, these are very valuable, but they're expiring in like 14 days. So if you guys, if you guys want to get them at a cheap rate before they expire, let's do it. And they're like $240 MSRP per box. And I got 8 boxes for $5 each. So $40 for all of them. I listed them on eBay for $18.87 plus shipping, just each individual tube. And then I did a multi-quantity of 106. Someone came and bought all 106, didn't ask for a discount. It was insane. So
I love that.
It was awesome. I'm like,
Wow.
I emailed Chris. He never responded, but I'm like, yeah, dude, I made a killing off of this.
Right
awesome.
on.
That's awesome.
Man.
Yeah, those vitamins I'm selling expired in February, but people are still buying them. And
they sat in my store for like 45 days. So I even updated the listing and said expired in December of 2025 or 2024.
Yep.
It was nice.
People, I had them listed for $9.99 a bottle. As soon as they expired, I dropped them to like $2 off, and then here recently I dropped them another $1, so they're like $6.90. I think I got them listed for $6.97 a bottle now, and they're selling like crazy, man.
I sell a lot of expired stuff, like expired makeup, expired printer ink for
sure.
And you just put in the title.
I bought those at a bin store.
Yeah. Because a lot of people are like, oh,
Amazon.
yeah, no, it'll still work good enough. Might as well get 30% off.
Yeah. It almost makes sense. Like, why now I understand why it's such a discounted price. Like, as a consumer, you're like, oh, it makes sense. It's expired, but I'm still going to be getting a great deal. And have you ever gotten in trouble with eBay with any of those categories? No, you just got to be transparent.
I heard someone recently got in trouble on Whatnot, though, for selling expired, like, creatine supplements. It's like, creatine can't expire. What the freak? But,
no.
I do know with the vitamins, I could not do international. It has to be US only. I did learn that, but I didn't learn that the hard way. I had somebody reach out to me, Grams from Grams and Pops Vintage reached out to me, and they apparently sell quite a bit of vitamins and stuff too. And I guess they learned the hard way. They got their wrist slapped a little bit for trying to sell overseas. So they warned me ahead of time, which I was very thankful for. But
cool.
But I've never had issues.
Speaking of international drug sales, quite the opposite. You can go on a nice little cruise to Ensenada and get whatever you want.
More comments in the.
Oh, dude, people love that stuff. It's great. No, but it's insane, dude. Like if you just like hop off the cruise ship in Ensenada and you go into the little tiendas, just like regular drugstores, they sell aspirin and stuff. And then if you ask them, like, hey, do you have any Adderall or cocaine? They'll be like, yeah, what do you want? It's freaking insane. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was so frustrated with the medical system last week. Like, I knew I needed an antibiotic, and the doctors wouldn't give it to me until I'd had symptoms for like 10 straight days. And I'm like, dude, it's 5 days in. I know what I need. And it's just like, sometimes I wish I could just walk into a drugstore and buy what I want. Like, it's kind of annoying sometimes.
Do you have United Healthcare?
We have Blue Cross Blue Shield, I think.
Okay. United Healthcare. So their stock was at like $580 like a month ago, and it's crashed all the way down to like $250. And I bought into that pretty heavy. I think that's gonna be a pretty good investment. Not investment advice. Don't listen to a 29-year-old on YouTube. But
speaking of terrible healthcare in our country, I had one of our my county, the biggest hospital closed down in like Chester, Pennsylvania, which is like not a very wealthy area. It's a lot of people are not going to have access to medical care, but that whole healthcare system shut down. So the whole county like lost, like two of my specialists, my primary care doctor, the office is closed like overnight. So I'm like scrambling to get like new healthcare to get like scripts called in and stuff. But it's like, like probably 40 offices closed in the course of like a couple days across the whole county. So,
well, my in-laws, their health insurance, when they were like me and my wife's age, when they first started having kids, their health insurance just like went out of business like 15 days before they had their daughter, and she had like some health complications at the beginning, so they just had to pay the $85,000 in medical bills.
Oh man,
wow,
that's brutal. Yeah,
dude, the insurance system's so crazy because like
go ahead, Joe.
No, I was just gonna say the 80,000 is like a fake price because of the insurance system inflating.
Exactly.
It's just so rough. It's just like a lose-lose.
That's for sure. I was just going to tell Keith, now's your time to one up Jake's people there who moved into the middle school. You can move into the hospital.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's true. Yeah, that's
That's probably
yeah,
like 48,000 square feet right there.
Yeah. Plus, they can use the CAT scan machines to scan card cases, right? That's what they're doing out there. Can use multitask. Yeah.
You can take out the power supplies and sell them on eBay, and then have
we're selling all that
picker telling you you're getting rid of them.
Yeah. Actually,
that was so funny.
I actually looked at a church chain though. I did look when I moved into the warehouse. It would have been almost the same, like mortgage payment to rent to buy this church near me, and just like use that for inventory. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe a little bit.
That'd be sweet, dude. Perfect YouTube content. Like I'm trying to tell.
Yeah.
Their name is Vance and Christina. They've like flirted around with the idea of a YouTube channel. I'm like, dude, that is just such good content. You live in a 20,000 square foot high school that is
so compelling.
Oh
yeah.
That's good content.
It really
they gotta
is.
get on it.
And that's where I have to have like a reseller rally, just at different classrooms, like Jake talking about remotes.
Dude, maybe. Unfortunately, it's in North Dakota though.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Who's gonna go to North Dakota? But yeah,
but I think rally
a really
routes
cheap event. You know, like the hotels here are $16 a night. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Rally Roots actually did buy a church or like a former church space.
Oh,
That's
really?
like what they're renovating for like the last couple of years. I think it used to be a church space there. So they're living the dream out there in Florida for sure.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, their setup is sweet.
Oh yeah, man.
I keep picturing with the high school. I keep picturing like me as a teenager trying to skateboard through all the halls and grinding on all the handrails and stuff. Like I picture myself as an adult if I lived in the high school. I'd still be trying to do stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no, they say they just do crazy stuff every day. They built their own really high class bar with a ton of like different drinks and neon signs and stuff because it's like, dude, you have unlimited space.
That's super cool. Yeah. I love that.
And they go around. They go to estate sales after they close and say, hey, give us $500 and we'll take everything for you. And so it's like they just have
like
unlimited.
Pay us to take it. Love that.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
And so they just have like unlimited inventory.
They have an auditorium for like their movie theater. You know what I mean?
Like basketball court. They probably have a basketball court in there, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's awesome,
Imagine.
man.
Oh, I got a new life goal. I'm gonna come out of this podcast being like, honey, we're buying a school. She's like, what?
Dude, that'd be insane.
That's awesome, man.
One of the really prestigious colleges here in Utah, it's called Westminster. Tuition is like $45,000 a semester. It's insane. One of their buildings actually just went up for sale. They're trying to get like $48 million for it. Dude, you guys are insane, man. That's just so nuts, man.
Is it a historical thing or just giant? Yeah. Why the price tag? Or both?
But dude, it's just a really weird school because especially in Utah, we're like very, very conservative, one of the most conservative states, and they are a very liberal school, and so like it's a very interesting complex in Utah for sure.
Huh, cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been going for just under an hour and 30 minutes. What do you guys want to plug?
This is fun, you guys.
We'll probably do the members real quick. I don't know if we have new members since it's been a couple weeks. We have Eagles and Beagles, Caleb Sells, Joe Virginia, Sarah Sells Smalls, Biscuit Butt, and then the three of us, and then our anonymous member to thank you for being members. But
thank you guys.
We haven't updated that in a couple weeks, so maybe there's a change. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
so good, man. I've been listening to this podcast from the beginning. Every episode with Sonny. I've listened to every episode. I'm like, well, I should be on there too. I'm like a super fan. I'm like embarrassed. I'm not up there too, you guys. I've been listening to every episode.
Yeah, dude, plug your YouTube channel. It's been blowing up recently.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm doing a YouTube channel called Profit First Reseller, and yeah, I've gone from like 1,000 to like 4,000 subscribers this month. So it's been like
totally nuts.
Oh, that's
awesome. I just got monetized a few weeks ago. So
you must be doing you must have some great content. I'll be honest, I haven't seen your channel yet. Jake reached out the other day.
Me too.
I was like, nope, I'm gonna check it out though. But obviously this week's been rough for me having spare time for anything, so I haven't had a chance to sit down. But I'm looking forward to it, man.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're growing that fast,
just talking
dude, the content's got to be good if you're growing that fast, man. I've been doing YouTube for 3 years now, and I'm at 3,600. So you've passed me in a month. That's amazing.
Yeah, you know, my main focus. I just started at the beginning of the year in January here, and I was just like trying to create some space in my life and pull back from eBay a little bit. And so I ended up taking up another hobby, which ended up being YouTube. But I was just totally focused on like, how do I make the process of making videos as smooth as possible? And there was actually this one creator who was like a bodybuilder named Sam Sulek.
Yep.
Who's like this massive dude, super young, really eloquent. And his videos were actually a huge inspiration to me. He would literally just like clip a GoPro on his shopping cart. And you're just like watching him just like put food into his shopping cart. And he's just like talking, or he'll just like set it up in his car and just chat about his life. And he also did not do thumbnails. And he skyrocketed to like 1 million subscribers because he's just such an interesting, compelling person in general. And it was that. And then another YouTube creator that I was following who had like 50 subscribers, that somehow the algorithm showed me another eBay reseller who had just started, had 50 subscribers. And I'm like, if the algorithm can show me somebody with 50 subscribers, like, why am I not putting myself out there too? Just like put it out in the world and see who it resonates with. And then seeing Sam Sulek, and I'm like, I don't need to hire a thumbnail creator necessarily. I can just like focus on making content that resonates with people. So I've just been trying to make it easy. Like my whole editing process is usually no longer than like 5 or 10 minutes. Just like
mine's super quick too. The only thing that takes long to edit is when I do comps on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm avoiding that for that reason. I
used to do it. I stopped doing it. Maybe I should. I don't know if people believe me when I tell them I sell things for this much and I paid this much, but I used to show them, and my views have not dropped since I stopped. So
really. Well, my channel is like educational, and so I get comments all the time like, "Hey, will you leave the comp on the screen a little longer, or will you make it bigger?" I'm like, "Well, number one, you can pause it, but sure."
Yeah.
Hey, can you make the screen stop moving? We have a new member. His name is Dustin Cosby.
Thanks, Dustin.
Fellow Islander.
Yep. And thank you.
Appreciate that.
That's awesome.
I think I know that name from District. I don't remember what Dustin. That might be Pipe Dreamer. I think
it's Pipe Dreamer. Yeah. I don't know Pipe Dreamer's last name, but I know his name's Dustin. So
yeah, I think that might be Dustin or Pipe Dreamer. Appreciate it.
Good stuff.
I've always just loved the concept from the very beginning of the podcast of just recognizing what kind of a job we're in and like needing that kind of like relationships with other people to kind of like recognize that it is about people at the end of the day. But it can be so disconnected. We're not seeing our customers necessarily, and like, and often don't have coworkers at all. So just bringing that human element back. I've actually really loved social media for that. As much as hate as people talk on it, I think if you kind of curate your community, I think it can actually be just
social media is a
reminder of like
there's
there's like real people behind the keyboards and behind the cameras, and it's good to remember that, and like connect with other people that are like on my level who are like wanting to succeed and do it. So I love talking to you guys and listening to you guys in my ear whenever I'm doing work every week. So
absolutely. Yeah, like this, like we have a bunch of people that I've never met in person, but I feel like if I met them in person, it's like we knew them for several years, right? I mean, that's pretty cool that YouTube can do that. Like me and Shane and Sean and my buddy on our Hops and Hits once a month. It's like a fun hangout. It's YouTube's cool in that way.
Dude, the live shows on like First Class Treasures and District as a whole. Like I've met so many people because of that. Like so many people that I never would have met. It's pretty sweet.
Well, like
I wonder if there'll ever be a platform that will allow the customers to have a video on as well, where you can almost have like an audience of people and they could like show their face and talk to you.
That'd be cool. But
you just love the Brady Bunch, don't you?
I was
maybe so.
I was on the Reseller Locker Room podcast for almost a year before I met any of those guys, and when we did finally meet, it was like we'd known each other for so long. Like when you have these conversations, and not just the once a week recordings, but phone calls and text messages and things where you're getting to know these people. And when you do finally meet them, it's like you guys have been friends your whole life or something. You know everything about each other by the time that comes. So, yeah, this podcast. That's what when Jake reached out to Jake and I was absolutely on board with being a part of it because I think it's such a great message.
Did he freeze?
Yeah, man.
It was just very thoughtful there.
So get emotional and froze.
It's okay, Shane.
Wise words.
Yeah.
Well, guys, my name is Kerry Williams. You can follow me at American Arbitrage Cards and check out my other podcast, No Bangers. And
Get your hat backwards though, Jake. Here we go. Now you're a no banger boy.
He wears it like almost covering up his eyebrows. There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Mysterious. Yeah, that's right.
With my hat on backwards, I look like Surf's Up. He's more on His name's Brad. He's more on TikTok. Actually, he's doing a lot more on YouTube.
Yeah, a lot of
A lot of people
lives.
say that we look similar when we wear our hats backwards.
Yeah,
I can see it.
there we go.
Well,
Cool.
everyone check out Soda City Flips on YouTube. He's
Here we
good.
go.
Or what about you guys?
He's gone. Well, I'm Profit First Reseller on YouTube. I'm just happy to be here, guys. Thanks for having me. It's been a blast.
Yeah, awesome, man. Thanks for coming on. Fun chat. And I'm Keith, Vintage Sport Flips. You can check me out on YouTube as well.
Sweet. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace, guys.
Peace.